All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 12. That is right, week number 12. Boom, boom, plus two, bow of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Alston, and what we are going to do this week is going to be a quick state of the course update. And then after we do that state of the course update, what we are going to do is we are going to go over 3 resources that can be used for vocational guidance. One of them is going to be Ferguson's. The other one is Gale's vocational database, and then the third thing is going to be the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. And these are websites that are, or these are resources that are good again for vocational guidance, trying to see what careers are trending upwards, what careers are trending toward not having a lot of availability or a lot of open vacancies and that sort of thing in the future. By the way, this is my 3rd time attempting to record this, and hopefully it will be the last time. But if you notice some fatigue on me, it's because everything is doing the Murphy's Law thing right now and going, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. First of all, just let me share a quick update with me. I am tired because I did have to pick up a part-time job in order to, my car was on its last legs and I needed to buy a new vehicle, and the car note was not something that I was going to be able to afford on the salary that I currently make with my other obligations, so I did have to pick up a part-time job. What I didn't expect with this part-time job is I have actually worked it 6 days in a row, and I just got called in again for a 7th day in a row tomorrow. So I have worked this job from Wednesday till tomorrow will be Tuesday, because I'm recording this on Monday, April 14th. So from Wednesday to Tuesday, I have accumulated, when I clock out tomorrow, I will have accumulated over 50 hours on this part-time job in the past 7 days, and this full-time job that I have with Mizzou takes over 40 hours a week. So I am a bit tired, and I'm hoping that after tomorrow I will not have these call-ins. I was expecting to only work 3 days a week, but here we are. Okay. So with that said, yes, I'm a little fatigued, and now my recording software is giving me problems. So sorry if I seem a little cranky. I love you guys. I'm just a little fatigued and tired. But anyway, so state of the course updates. The main thing that you all need to know is, as far as discussion board posts, we did not have a class we did not have a check-in video last week because we had a sync session. By the way, you all did great with the sync session. I was very pleased. You had a lot of questions for Jamie. It was awesome. So keep that up, and you all did seem like you were genuinely interested in the subject matter, so that was great. But yes, before last week, you did have a discussion board prompt that was due on April the 6th. And I think and hope that everybody has turned that in on time, in which case you only have one more discussion board prompt that will be due in May, and that's discussion board prompt number 7. All right. So there you go with that. And what I want to say also with that is that the yes, the semester-long projects, you all should be, hopefully you started it by now. Hopefully you started it actually weeks ago. But if you haven't, then now is the time to really, really get rolling on that. You do also, however, have your LibGuides that are due this weekend. I realize this weekend is Easter weekend, but that's just the way that the class laid out. I recommend that if you want to have Easter off, that you go ahead and turn in your LibGuide, get it completed by Saturday, okay? If you're trying to take Sunday off and just be done with all your schoolwork before Sunday, then go ahead and turn that LibGuide in on Saturday for me, okay? But yes, the LibGuide and the semester-long project are the only things you have left, and the aside from the discussion board posts and the one discussion board post that you have left, and the LibGuide is due this weekend. So after this weekend, you should be sitting pretty with just your one discussion board post left, as well as finishing up those semester-long projects. Okay, so that is what's going on there, and that's pretty much it for the state of the course update, actually, because there's not much course left. You all have been rolling right along, and you should be seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. You all have done some fantastic work this semester, okay? And by the way, yes, I do intend to get caught up on grading those discussion board prompts. I did get the Wikipedia edit assignments graded, but again, this quote unquote part-time job that I've gotten has really intensified my schedule, and I was not really prepared for that. All right, let's look at some of these, or let's look at these career resources that I was telling you all about. So I'm going to get into this other browser. These are going to be, you actually have both public and academic libraries that use these resources. However, I am going to access them through the public library, and I'm not even sure if Mizzou has these, but I know a lot of academic libraries do. But yes, so the things that we are going to be looking at again are going to be wherever Ferguson's is. Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. That's going to be one that we look at. We're also going to be looking at Gale Vocations and Careers, and then we are going to be looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. All right, so let's go ahead and start out with Gale. So Gale Vocations and Careers. If we go into that, I'll pause this. Okay, and so when you get into Gale One File Vocations and Careers, you're going to be taken to a page that looks something like this. And what you can do is, this really is what I'll say about this, and I'm not going to go through all these features, including the publications search and the subject guide search and the topic finder. We're just going to do the basic search so that you get a feel of what this database does. And then if you want to explore further, you can look at some tutorials and do that on your own time. But one of the things that this database is useful for is when you have students, whether they're K-12 or if they are freshmen or sophomores in college. But when you have students who are looking to write papers or something about what career they want to do and they have to have actual sources for it, this is a great database for that. And I am going to go into this advanced search here. And you have all these various options here, but I am actually just going to go into a subject, and I do think that dental hygienist, which is what I like to base this part on when I'm showing this to students, I like to go with dental hygienist. And so if you do dental hygienist as a subject and then search, what you'll get is a nice little breakdown here. So showing results for dental hygienist as a subject, you've got 868 magazine articles, 546 academic journal articles, and then you got some news articles here as well. And they are going to sort by relevance, but I actually don't know how relevant that first one is. Yeah, actually I had to scroll down a little bit before I got something that I really thought was on par, but we've got this dental hygiene roles. And we can go in there and you've got your full text right there. So your information that you need for citation, this comes from a publication called Access, Volume 31, Issue number 5. We've got our word count there. It's published by the American Dental Hygienists Association. This is from May-June 2017, and we've got our author information there. You can save and email it to yourself, print all those things, and you've got your full text there. You scroll, and you've got your full text there. So there you go. And the search term that we use is actually color-coded as well, so that is a nice touch there. That is a sample. Here is a sample citation, but again, do not rely on the citations, the sample computer-generated citations to be accurate. You need to check on them yourself, okay? And so that's pretty much the odds and ends of this database, actually. So you can go back to your results. You can switch this from magazines to academic journals, and switch this to the newest things. And again, you've got your word count there, blah, blah, blah. So this is how this searches. And if you want some more practice, go ahead and get some more practice on your own time. I'm going to go back to the Mid-Continent Public Library webpage. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be looking at is going to be Ferguson's. I'm going to come over here. And we are in Ferguson's. Now, some of the features that you will find in Ferguson's, we are only going to, for the purposes of this video, we're only going to go through Explore Careers, but also you can do plan your education, do a school search, look for schools that offer distance learning, financial aid opportunities, you can look in there. Preparing for your career, they've got resume resources, cover letter resources, interviewing, networking, and workplace skills resources. And then find a career. You can actually look at job postings as well as internships and apprenticeships here. But to be honest with you, you find if you Google through Monster or Indeed or things like that, you can find the career postings, and they tend to be a lot more robust and complete when you Google than when you use Ferguson's, to be quite honest with you. But we can do Explore Careers, and that's what we are going to do. First of all, you can point people to this. You have a 60 question and a 30 question career assessment tool, and so this can be very useful. So if you have somebody who's saying that they want to take some sort of career assessment tool, you can, and I've never had anyone do that, but that doesn't mean that nobody will ever want to. So if you do find somebody who wants to, you've got that in Ferguson's as well. You can direct them to Ferguson's and have them do it there, and find a career path as well. Now you can research industries or browse professions. So if you are browsing professions, then it's going to take you here. These are featured professions, and one thing with the featured professions is a lot of them also have this little helpful video that you can watch and kind of learn. It's usually a video of somebody who actually works in the profession. So a nurse practitioner, you got this here, and I'm going to play it. It's going to have echo, so I apologize. Actually, let me see if I can mute my microphone. Maybe I can. All right, like I said, my recording software is being a little hinky right now, so I could not mute my microphone, so there's going to be a little echo, but I'm not going to play the whole video anyway. I apologize for the echo. But I just want you to see that you have a little video. Oh, actually, that one's a bit on the long side, but you got a little video that somebody can play.
Succeeding as a nurse practitioner actually starts as a nurse, and there are a lot of programs out there that say, oh, you don't have to work before you go into nurse practitioner.
All right, so you get the gist of it. There's a little video that answers some questions and everything, but also when we go back there, so let's go back to, again, the browse professions thing. And there's featured professions, but then you can browse all professions here. And you can browse all professions here. And so when you go through this, you have them in alphabetical order. And if you have this little thing right there, then that includes one of those helpful little videos. But you can find whatever, and I am going to actually go to librarian if it is still there. Actually, I'm going to go to library assistants because I don't want to see that little video icon thing. I know I'm being a little weird. It's the fatigue, I promise. Okay. So when you go to library assistants, you get the professional profile, and you can actually click this to look at the full article at once. But what you have is an article that starts with an overview. So you've got the overview here in the table of contents, and you can just go to wherever you need to go. But you have very helpful quick facts in your table of contents, including median salary, duties, the career ladder, so forth and so on. And employment prospects, which is the employment prospects are fair, the advancement prospects are good, because a lot of people actually do go from being library assistants to librarians, and so their advancement is good there. And so again, you can do the read full article or the view full article, or you can come over here and click these various things. So you can click earnings and get some earnings information there. And then you can go to the next thing, which will be work environment. You can go to the next thing, which will be whatever. I do like Outlook, and a lot of your patrons are going to be looking for the Outlook. So employment for library assistants is expected to decline 6% through 2033, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, blah, 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 blah. But you get a lot of helpful information there, okay? And again, if you just want it all at once, You'll have to scroll quite a bit, but you can get all of it just through view full article. Okay. And so that's pretty much how that works. Now, if we go to research industries, you got your feature industries here. And so you got advertising, biology, computer software, but then you can go to all industries. And as you can, oh, Lord, okay. So you can go to all industries and you can scroll. And I believe librarianship might be under education or something. Yeah, library and information services is listed under education. So you could go back in there, museums and cultural centers as well. We'll go into library and information services. And again, you have the overview. You have your industry profile. So you get your industry profile here and you can view the full article at once if you want. And that's what a lot of people are going to want to do. So that takes you to overview, background, structure, industry outlook, yada, yada, the whole 9 yards. And related professions, that's going to be very important. So related professions is going to be over here. And these are the professions for those who are looking at the library and information services. If you're looking at that industry, then these are the professions that they have listed within it, including library media specialists, music librarians, medical librarians, librarians. And as you can see, these median salaries are all pretty much the same. Law librarians, they get paid a little more. Children's librarians, I think they just stay in the job a little bit longer. Library directors, and then you've got me, a library science and information science instructor. Excuse me. So that's how that goes, and you can sort these by job outlook might be the way you might want to sort them. So we've got archivists that are going to be, the outlook is much higher than average. Book conservators also much higher than average, and so forth and so on. Now, when it comes to doing what I do, yeah, that is probably going to be about as fast as average. I was actually expecting it to be lower than average, but hey. So if you want to do what I do, then it looks like you may have some opportunities out. The job outlooks are not looking as bad as I thought they would. All right. And finally, let's look at, so if you want to get more practice with Ferguson's, go ahead and, again, find some tutorials, get in there, practice, look around yourself. Finally, we will go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so let's get in there. And again, this is something that you may want to take a tutorial on. There are some tutorials on how to navigate this on things like YouTube and that sort of thing. But the Bureau of Labor Statistics, this is a free website offered through the federal government. And yes, you are... well, I'm not going to go into everything, but as far as subjects and data tools, you can look at some of these things really quickly. So one of the main things that I want you all to be kind of looking at is when you come here to subjects, the pay and benefits area, this is what you're going to want to be looking at. Is a lot of times, again, you're going to have patrons that are coming in and they're going to want information about various jobs. So if you can come here, one popular thing to look at is wage data by occupations. And so you can come here, go in here, and I am just going to put librarian in. And you'll be brought to this search list of search results. I'm just going to go here. This is what I knew I was looking for, was librarians and media collection specialists. And what you will find is this information right here. Now, this is our national data. So the mean hourly wage on the national level is $32, really $33 there. Mean annual wage for librarians and media collections specialists is $68. 570. That is not going to be an entry-level wage, folks. This is a national average, and it includes people who have been, it's skewed by people who have been working in this field for decades. But also, yes, you've got your employment data here. That's about how many people are working this job as of May 2023 in the United States of America, about 133,000 people, and so forth and so on. So you can scroll down, get more of a breakdown here. As you can see, people who are doing librarianship within the local government, excluding schools and hospitals, they unfortunately are getting paid a little bit less than those who are doing the elementary school or the academic librarianship. But again, that goes to such things as experience. A lot of people, they'll get into librarian jobs in K-12 and they'll stay in them for a long time. The same with academic librarian jobs, whereas a lot of public librarians, honestly, they are moving around a lot these days, okay? So you can scroll down, you get a little bit more information here. Yeah, I'm not even gonna spend too much time looking at that. You can just kind of get a feel for this yourself as you go through and practice with the database. All right, so now I'm taking it back home, and another thing that I want you all to kind of be aware of, if you go from home, you can go to occupations, and this is where I'm sure you've all heard of the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So you can actually select occupations by various things here. This is a very neat tool, so you can select occupations by 2023 median pay, entry-level education, on-the-job training, number of new jobs, and projected growth rate. So for one thing, you have your index here, and so you could go to librarians through your index here. Let me scroll. All right, so where is it? Librarians and media specialists. And this will be similar to the information that you saw in Ferguson. So you can kind of look through here. You get a summary, what they do. So, the summary information, by the way, is really good. So you got the median pay here, typical entry-level education, the master's degree, which you're working on now, on the job training. I would say that this is misleading. Actually, most of your training in a librarian job is going to be on the job training, okay? But then you can come to these various tabs, what they do, here are the duties, and they're broken down by librarian type, so that's cool. Work environment, how to become one, pay, boom, 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 job outlook. There you go, state and local data, similar occupations, museum curators probably in there. Yeah, archivists, curators, and museum workers, and those sorts of things. So if you want a similar job that might have a similar education requirement, then you can look at the similar occupations and so on. All right, and then also let's look at a few other things before we kind of click out of here and end it, because I know we are running a little long here. I did want to go back to occupations and again just kind of go to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, and I wanted to show you all this. So again, growth rate much faster than average. You will have patrons who are just like, man, I'm just trying to find something where I'll find a job. So you can select that right there, hit go, and then it's just going to give you a list of things that are projected to grow much faster than average, okay? And so, yeah, you got those. So athletic trainers, bartenders, biochemists, chiropractors, coaches, so forth and so on, okay? So that's how all that works. But there is a lot, and I do mean a lot of information on BLS.gov, which is Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov. So it will take you a while to actually master this site, and I've forgotten a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. It'll take you a while to master this site and to know everything that's in it, but it is something that you need to have in your toolbox, and you might want to watch some tutorials and get some practice on it, because it will come up. Unless you're like doing certain types of librarianship, like children's librarianship. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and get out of here right at 25 minutes. I am Dr. Jace, and you might want to select a career wherein growth is at a steady pace. Jace Pace, I can go to sleep happy. All right, I will see you all next week with another check-in video. Bye-bye.